Good morning.
Good morning, Ruth.
All right. So nice to have you here. So quickly, let's go into the first story. Chief of Army Staff Tukur Buratai relocates to the northeast. After Boko Haram insurgents attacked the army formation in Bama, Borno State, and Jili Yobe State, during which hundreds of soldiers reportedly went missing, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai, and other top army commanders have relocated to the northeast in an assessment mission. Okay, 2 days ago, I think it was 2 days ago that we first heard the story about some soldiers gone missing, and a day after, or toward the end of the day, I think there were other reports refuting that. So where are we at this point? I mean, if top army commanders are relocating to assess the situation, does it give any proof that perhaps something like that did happen?
Yes, something like that did happen. There was this report this morning that actually hundreds of military personnel were missing from that camp, and we had the army spokesman said about 10 bodies were recovered. And
10 bodies of civilians?
Yes, civilians, unknown persons, and army personnel too were recovered too. So if that was true, I don't know why that report was refuted, but there's something pressing about these issues. Before, when the vice president was acting as the president in the absence of Muhammadu Buhari, Buratai was relocated to Maiduguri at that time, where Maiduguri was the center of all these insurgents and all that. Nothing really came out of that place, because after the relocation and all that, there was still bomb blast, recurring insurgents and all that. But I think this current relocation, I hope they have, re-strategized, put necessary measures into place, and probably something would come out of it from this relocation. And it's not just about relocation. Okay, you're relocating to another place. What about this place you're living? You're living another loophole. Some people will be thinking of, invading this place you've left. Because the other time something happened, was it in Borno State or something? We had deployment of army personnel, a lot of army personnel deployed to that place, leaving that other camp, which something actually happened few days.
That was in Yobe.
Yes, few days before that and the occurrence in Yobe happened. So it's not just deploying people, relocating and all that. That is not our problem. Like France president said, Macron, our problem cannot be solved by any international body. It cannot be solved by any other country. It just have to be us, and we just have to come together, re-strategize, and look for better methodology to approach this insurgents, and probably we'll just have to find solutions to it.
Okay.
We can solve any problem, but there are things shrouding it, and we just have to
find a way around
them.
it.
Yes.
I think it's not about the presence of the Chief of Army Staff. I think his presence may not do very much, because if we look at the experiences that we've had, I think we've been having cases or issues whereby we have a large deployment of military personnel, both from the army, the navy, the police, the DSS and all that, at a particular area, and killings still continue. Not very far away was the experience that we had in Jos. You remember when the president visited Jos the other time, people were killed, and as a result of that, there was this huge deployment of officers to Jos, and then After that deployment was when we had the bomber killing. After they had deployed 2 helicopter fighters, jet fighters, these there are all the troops that you can think of in the country were deployed to that place. And just after that, few days later, that was when we had that killing of over 200 persons. So I am thinking that it's not longer about who is and where those troops are. I believe the time has come for us to take, I don't know if it's an extra, I don't know what else we can do, but I think the security experts, which I'm sure we have in the country, should by now be thinking of what else can we do as a nation to foster these killings. Because we've had troops, we've had, troops from all the security agencies at every particular place, especially at the troubled zones, but the killings still continue. So I think we need to look for an alternative, a security alternative, and dwell more on intelligence gathering in order to stop this kind of killings. Because I think it's no longer about, since it's not the normal conventional war, I think it's not all about okay, the bandits are not here and then we are here at the Nigerian troops. So if we have to face ourselves one-on-one, probably we can say, okay, there's so much that we can do. But the way the killings occur, it always takes us by surprise, and then by the end of the day we're not almost able to do more. But on the other hand, I think the presence of Buratai will also probably boost the morale of the men and women on the field fighting, and probably that's the only thing that can help. If not,
maybe that's the only thing it can serve.
That's what I think.
Wow.
Yes,
And it's also for an assessment of, I think, whatever transpired, to see where were the loopholes, perhaps what happened and why they were able to get to the men, I guess.
This particular one, we don't even really know what is happening. Where reports are saying that hundreds of soldiers were declared missing, and scores of them were killed. In fact, even yesterday, I think an army source said about 10 bodies were recovered. But the army, I was watching a news on the television last night, and the army spokesman, Texas Chukwu, was still saying that it was just a soldier and an officer that were wounded. So I don't know who is lying about this.
Well, the families of these men, I mean, if it did happen, I'm sure with time, because maybe
the families may not know immediately, because these are people that are on the field. It will
so they
take
don't
some
get
time
to
before
communicate with them very often.
Yes,
so it may take a while.
Yeah, it will take some time.
Well, I'm also just thinking about the possible effect, having such knowledge could have on the general public. I mean, hearing that, many of our soldiers have gone missing, like, it could be demoralizing, I guess.
Very well, because if the soldiers are not protected, if they too can be killed, and if they too can get missing, then what happens to you and I who don't have guns and who are not trained to even defend ourselves? It becomes worrisome, really.
Well, I don't think any patriotic Nigerian would want a defeat of the Nigerian army, so we would just hope that things will be put in place so that at least, even if we do know that these things would come always with casualties, even to the military men, because they're also humans, right?
Yes.
So in any case, though,
what we want is a very peaceful Nigeria. Nigeria, we've always lived in peace, and some people will say they are used to killings and all that because of the insurgencies we've been suffering over time. But to be truthful, nobody get used to killing. Nobody get used to it, because if it doesn't affect you directly, I think you have that confidence to say we are used to killing. But if it does affect you directly, I think nobody would just and nobody will just stand and say we are used to killing. We don't want to
some extent. All right, I'm trying to be careful, but to some extent, some of these things we're gradually, for lack of a better way to put it, we're gradually like getting accustomed to it. It wasn't always like this in our news to hear reports of bombings, killings, dying and all of that. But these days, we hear it a lot, so that not many of them are really making big headlines anymore, because Is
It's
it
like
not
a
them
daily
again? It
thing.
has happened again, you know, and
Yes.
all of that.
It's a
Not
daily
like
thing.
we're accepting it, but then you begin to hear something over and over again, and over
It's
time,
just like we are
it grows
getting
on
used
you.
to the news. That's just basically what.
Well,
it
let's
is.
hope something can really be done, seriously speaking, because we have been hopeful for a very long time, and we will not lose hope though. But let's just see, hoping that things will change for the better. Moving on to the next story. Police react to finance minister's alleged NYSC certificate forgery. The police spokesman Jimoh Moshood says until a complaint is filed at the police station, the force will not investigate the allegation of the NYSC certificate forgery against Finance Minister Kemi Adeosun. Jimoh stated that the police could not initiate an investigation based on newspaper report. He insisted on a verbal or written complaint to the police, noting that this was the basis for all the police investigation. Okay, let me just ask you this question first. A line caught my attention here that they could not initiate an investigation based on newspaper report. The police has no confidence in Nigeria's media. That's just one of the things that's caught my attention very quickly.
But my understanding of that statement is that, you know, there's something we call due process. I think the police will not just go and just start investigating just because the police heard that.
Does it hurt to make investigations, to carry out investigations?
Due process.
Investigations are part of due process.
It has to be formally reported to the police before the police can take it up from there.
So who would have made this formal report? Who is expected to make this formal report?
Who brought the issues out?
It's in the papers. So how did they get it? There has to be a source. There has to be a contact somewhere.
Yes. You know, when this story came up, I think the first agency to get to was NYSC. And the media organization that brought out that report the first time said, according to the report again, that they've been on NYSC trying to find out what the problem is and what is the truth about it. And NYSC had continuously said, look, we are investigating. And I think it is when NYSC gets to that point where they can say, yes, there was a foul play, there was a forgery, there was this. I think that is when
the police will
can
take
now
it up.
come in and okay, it's now the responsibility of the police to now investigate the crime, because if it's true that, you know, she did this, then it's a criminal offense. And I think it will now be the next point where the police can say, okay, we now have the responsibility to investigate since it's a crime. So for now, since probably NYSC has not written officially to the police to say, look, this is what this minister did, this is the offense, this is what we discovered, maybe the police hands are tied.
No smoke without fire, like this.
Yes.
I just had to be, sentiments. I'm just hearing about
In another report,
not
I
responding to anything on papers. I mean, that really just got to me. All right, Matia.
In another report, I think NYSC came out to say she actually applied for exemption letter from them. But I read yesterday, but I don't know how true that is. As it said, she actually confessed that she actually applied for NYSC exemption letter, but she actually got the exemption letter from a third party. Who is that third party? And
that sounds like some rumor. Now, an exemption letter and NYSC completion certificate, are they one and the same thing?
No.
So one would definitely be an exemption letter, and then the other one would be that, yes, you went through this
process of applying for exemption later.
All in all, on a more serious note, all in all, I don't think it will take us anything to get to the truth of whether
And
the
in no
finance
time,
minister,
if you ask me,
actually forged, a certificate and all that. It will not take anything. But of course, it will also going to depend on where the finance minister is sitting in this administration. If the finance minister is sitting somewhere that is very comfortable in the minds of some persons in the administration, then I tell you, nothing will come out of it.
I like that expression, where she's sitting in a comfortable place.
Yes, nothing will come out of it. But except, of course, if she has also fallen out with some persons in the administration, that's when you begin to see serious, investigations and indictments. Whether we like it or not, we still have that Nigerian thing, like that Nigerian factor still plays everywhere.
Yes.
So, but by the end of the day, whatever will come out of this will depend on who or how well she is seated in the administration. If she's seated well, nothing will come out of it. If she's not, then she can just be used as a scapegoat.
I hope so.
All right, let's proceed on a break. We will come back and continue on Media Lab.
Welcome, my dear friends.
Human Rights Radio. Your 100% effort is not good enough.
You know.
Give me 101.1 effort.
The National Institute for Hospitality and Tourism, NIHOTOUR, in collaboration with Consolidated Alliance, presents Project Smart Jobs. Our Director General, Mrs. Chika Balogun, has this to say.
A great opportunity for corporate organizations in the hospitality and tourism industry to partner with us towards achieving the following objectives: to develop a highly skilled personnel through a rigorous internship system, to provide a sustainable ICT platform for enhanced e-learning, e-business presence, and increased customer patronage, to implement a digital statistical infrastructure for standards on hospitality, travel, and tourism, amongst others.
We therefore invite hotels, airlines, interstate road transport services, superstores, state government, legislators to take advantage in this growing sector. For more information, visit www.nihotour.gov.ng. Click on Project Smart Job. By your right, see Expression of Interest. Click on it. For more information, fill the form, submit, and we revert to you. Project Smart Job, a call for expression of interest.
Are you living around Jahi, Utako, Kado, Life Camp, Warimpa, Katampe, Wuse2, Mabuchi, Kado Kuchi? If you are, do not miss this awesome opportunity to get your child enrolled in our purpose-built school. Our fees are unbelievably cheap for what we offer. Register for daycare, nursery, and primary at Oscar International Academy, located at Jahi 1 beside Platinum Plaza by Mabuchi Ultra Modern Market, Abuja. Also available is a fun-filled educational plus skill acquisition summer program. For more inquiries, please call 081 01 17 2885 or 070 8202 8220. Oscar International Academy, the perfect grooming ground for your kids.
There is an opportunity of getting employed on Project Smart Jobs and earn up to 300,000 naira monthly.
Really?
Yes! The National Institute for Hospitality and Tourism, NIHOTOUR, has partnered Consolidated Alliance on Project Smart Jobs.
Project Smart Jobs?
Project Smart Jobs is an online employment training platform that gives you requisite training plus empowerment seed fund up to 1 million naira as startup capital.
Seriously?
Yes, 1 million naira to buy and sell deals on Smart Jobs mobile application. For more information, visit www.nihotour.gov.ng and click on Project Smart Jobs. To register, visit www.smartjobs.ng or call us on 081 8557 8887 or 081 8557 8888. Take a bold step and visit us now.
This is to inform the general public that the activities of scavengers, also known as Babambola, is prohibited within the Federal Capital City. Their activities are henceforth restricted to the area councils. Residents of the Federal Capital City are advised to be vigilant and report any suspicious activities to law enforcement agencies. Together, we can make Abuja the city of our dreams.
láti kéde pé ojúṣe àwọn Sagolo Sapanu tí a mọ̀ sí Babambola ti dókun nílùú Àbújá àti ìjọba àbílẹ̀ mẹ́fẹ̀ẹ̀fà bí ọwọ́ sìnkú àwọn agbófinró bá wá ba ẹnikẹ́ni nínú wọn yóò fi ojú ba ilé ẹjọ́ o. ẹ̀yin olùgbé Àbújá ẹ yára tètè tẹ́tí lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ tẹ́ bá rí ẹnikẹ́ni tí ń yọ́lẹ̀ ẹ̀dà tí kò tẹ̀lé òfin tó sì ń sagolo tí ń sapáànù ẹ tètè fi tó àwọn agbófinró létí. àjọṣe wa ni o láti mú kí olú ìlú yìí dùn ún wò kí ó sì dùn ún gbé pẹ̀lú ìrọ̀rùn. ìkéde yìí wá láti iléeṣẹ́ ìjọba olú ìlú yìí ìyẹn Federal Capital Territory Administration.
Udummiri ebidola a na-adọ ọhaneze aka na ntị ka ha gbochie ma kwụsị akparamagwa ga-ebute mmiri ọdụdọ na mbuze dịka iwufu ahịhịa n'ime mmiri na-asọ asọ ya na ịtụnye ihe n'ime gota. A na-emekwa ka ị mara na iwu ụlọ n'ebe na-ekwesịghị dịka ụzọ mmiri nwere ike ịkpata ịtụfu ndụ ndị mmadụ n'efu ya na ihe nweta ndị mmadụ ịla n'iyi ma ihe kwesịrị dị mma. Ọ bụ Federal Capital Territory Administration FCTA na-ezitara gị ozi a.
A yayin da damuna ta fara kankama, an shawarci al'umma da su guji bata muhalli wanda ke iya jawo ambaliya. Zub da shara ba kan gado shine makasudin babbar ambaliya a birnin tarayya Abuja. Saboda haka kar ku zub da sharar ku a magudanan ruwa. Bugu da ƙari, an shawarci al'umma da su kiyaye yin gine-ginen gidaje a hanyoyin ruwa wanda yin haka kan iya jawo rusan da zai laƙume rayukan al'umma da dukiyoyinsu a lokacin damuna. A koda yaushe ku kasance mai yin abin da yake daidai. Wannan sako na zo muku ne daga hukumar birnin tarayya FCTA.
Gẹ́gẹ́ bí a ti mọ̀ wípé àsìkò òjò la wà, èyí ni láti sọ fún gbogbo ènìyàn láti yàgò fún ìwà ìdọ̀tí, dídà ìdọ̀tí síbi tí ò bójúmu tó lè fa omíyalé àgbàrá ya ṣọ́ọ̀bù. Dídà ìdọ̀tí síbi tí ò bójúmu tàbí òpópónà sì jẹ́ ohun kan gbòógì tí ó ń ṣokùnfà omíyalé àgbàrá ya ṣọ́ọ̀bù ní ìlú Àbújá. Ẹ má ṣe da ìdọ̀tí sínú gọ́tà tàbí ọ̀nà tí ìjọba ti pèsè sílẹ̀ fún omi láti gbà kọjá. A tún fi àsìkò yìí sọ fún gbogbo olùgbé FCT Àbújá láti rí dájú wípé wọn ò kọ́ ilé sí ọ̀nà tí omi ń gbà kọjá. Èyí lè ṣe okùnfà pípàdánù ọ̀gọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀mí tàbí pípàdánù ohun ìní ní àsìkò òjò. Ẹ ṣe ohun tó tọ́. Ìkéde yìí wá láti àjọ FCTA Federal Capital Territory Administration.
As the rainy season begins, the general public is hereby advised to avoid environmental practices that could cause flooding. Indiscriminate waste disposal has remained a major factor causing flooding in the FCT. Do not throw your garbage into gutters and drainages along waterways. Residents are also advised to avoid building houses around natural waterways, as this could also lead to loss of lives and property during the rainy season.
Do the right thing. This message is from the Federal Capital Territory, FCTA.
eji ohere a echetara ndị bi isi obodo anyị bụ Abuja mkpa ọ dị idobe iwu tụmadụ ka o si gbasata okporo ụzọ n'ebe obibi na-ezighị ezi. Biko mara na enyela otu task force nke minista hibere ikike ịhụ na iwu nke mechibidoro adịgboroja ụgbọala ọbụla eji arachapịọm pụtara ihe. Ha ga-ahụkwa na akwụsịrị kpamkpam iji ọgbatumtum maọbụ ị na-aga ebugharị ndị mmadụ n'isi obodo anyị bụ Abuja. Otu a ga-ahụkwa na ha gbochiri ndị keke ma mawapụtakwara ha ebe ha ga na-agba na mpaghara isi obodo anyị. Ha ga-ekpochapụkwa ndị akwụna na ụmụ mmekpa ahụ ndị ọzọ dịka ịtụ mgbere mmadụ, ire ọgwụ ike nakwa iwepụ ma kụrie ebe obibi ọbụla na-ezighị ezi. Otu a ga-ahụ na ewepụrụ ọdụ ụgbọala na-ekwesịghị ekwesị n'isi obodo anyị. Biko ka anyị jikọọ n'aka ọnụ wulite FCT ka ọ dị ka anyị si chọọ ya. Ndị aka ga-akpara dara iwu ndị a ga-eji anya ha hụ ntị ha, bụrụ ezi nwa amaala, dobe iwu ala anyị. aha kéku ilé ó gbọ́ kó yá àwí fún toko kánà ó gbọ́ kóró fóòbẹ̀ pé ìjọba olú ìlú yìí ń fi àsìkò ìran gbogbo olùgbé ìlú yìí ní etí o pé ìjọba kò fi àyè gba àwọn ọkọ̀ tí kò dára kẹ̀kẹ́ nàpẹ́ẹ̀bù ọ̀kadà alùpùpù àti àwọn ọmọbìnrin tí ń ṣiṣẹ́ ìgbélépawó ìyẹn àwọn aṣẹ́wó nínú ìlú àbújá o wọ́n gbàgbé pé àwọn amúnisínkùn ìjọba ń bẹ láàrin ìlú bí ọwọ́ wọn bá bà ọ́ ajẹ́pọ̀ orugi oyin nìyẹn o káwí fún ni ká gbọ́ ìlú yọmọ adarí irun ṣèbí ká sọ̀rọ̀ fún ni ká gbà ní yọmọ ẹ̀dá èèyàn gbọ́ ohun tí ìjọba olú ìlú yìí ń sọ fún gbogbo wa kí ìlú àbújá kí ó lè dùn ún wò kí ó lè dùn ún gbé fún gbogbo wa dídára olú ìlú yìí àjọṣe wa ni o jẹ́ kí èmi àti ẹ jẹ́ olùgbé rere.
Ana sanar da dukkanin al'ummar birnin tarayya Abuja da ku kasance masu bin dokoki sawu da kafa musamman ma ta fuskar dokokin hanyoyi da na kafa guraren kwana ba bisa ka'ida ba a birnin tarayya Abuja. A kuma sani cewa har yanzu dokan nan ta hana amfani da tsofaffin motoci a matsayin taxi. Haka zalika kananan motocin bus da kwasta tare da hana sana'ar ataba a cikin birnin tarayya Abuja. A kuma tabbatar da cewa an bi dokar sana'ar ataba a guraren da doka ta amince tare da tabbatar da bin dokar hana karuwanci da yawon banza a birnin tarayya da sauran laifuka kamar tu'amali da miyagun kwayoyi kafa tashoshin motoci ba bisa ka'ida ba da dai sauran laifuka iri daban-daban. Hakika duk wanda aka kama ya karya doka za a hukunta shi. Mu haɗa hannu domin gina birnin tarayya Abuja a matsayin abin alfaharinmu.
Awidna akugna aza vien kinzin nege tuntun aza mbatun aya una vidankulu na kobege baba bola atela jebaje o kinzin ne nkoyin tinya kola ka haye baba tuntun kola pojin inara kansi vien ba lo mutna e kinzin ne ozana wa sasatu vidankulu wotna aba wa api aga wotata agna kinzin dalo mbasaselo ge balaweka na zaipia da na azalaba sasalokin zinege balawepi na ja zaipia bakara na bana banwa ba tabashiba agaba tata yutna wode ya mi ekinzin ne ko na ba abwa abegi I would never back me in city atutni jina kokoge Federal Capital Territory Administration.
This is Human Rights Radio 101.1. Redefining broadcasting.
As the fourth estate of the realm, the media stands as the watchman of the nation. On Media Lab, we dissect the news items of the day through the men and women that bring the news to you to give you the full story. Media Lab, airing exclusively on Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM, redefining broadcasting.
Human Rights Radio. Thank you for staying with us. 11:33 a.m. Media Lab right here on Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM. We have one more story. Sokoto State government builds 222 toilets, drill boreholes in public places. The Sokoto State government has constructed 222 toilets and drilled 201 boreholes in selected schools, clinics, and villages as part of the effort to check open defecation and provide safe drinking water. Simply put, that is just it. Okay, let's listen to your take on this first.
It's a laudable project for the governor to provide those numbers of public toilets, because that's what we've been asking for, because
it doesn't sound like a campaign kind of thing.
Well, even if it's a campaign kind of thing, my first reaction is, okay, thank God we have the toilets. At least it will solve the issue of open defecation, because open defecation is a very, very UNICEF had described us as a field, that Nigeria is a field you know, where a field
like
where,
open field where everybody just comes.
Yes, open field where
open their behind in the public,
and free to, you know, and then nothing happens. You know the implication of that. You remember the number of hundreds of people have died as a result of cholera across the country, and one of the main reasons is because of open defecation. By the time the rains come and then they wash the feces into the river, you know, most of our people still drink water from the rivers, you know, and the streams in the rural areas, and then this is washed into these waters, and then they take the water, and then by the end of the day you have hundreds of people dying. So if not for anything, it will reduce, even if it's in a minute manner, the number of lives that we would have lost.
But even in the FCT, we still have people doing this in the city. Just 2 days ago, I think on Monday or so, someone called in very early on the program, and he said that he just wanted, we're talking about something differently, but that was like basically what was on his mind. And he said he just wanted to talk about people who would be driving. According to him, these are even people driving. So it's either it's their personal cars, or even if they're just using their personal cars for public transportation, you know, and all of that, but they park on one side and then they just do relieve themselves of whatever. So the mentality we even still have, even in the cities, then when do we begin to talk about those in rural areas who really do not have these provisions? But then unfortunately, fortunately or unfortunately, I don't know, because most of these things are coming because of politics. Well, that's just it. But then we shouldn't. What I'm trying to say is, these are not things we begin to like. These are the kinds of things you go now and you see people celebrating it, and but it is their rights. These things would have been put in place a very long time before now. We're talking about boreholes.
And that's why the other time I was talking, and I said, look, we should be careful of the way we perceive and receive the gift that we receive now from politicians, because most of them will be geared towards winning us back. Yes, we'll receive this gift, but we need to sit down and think and say, why is this person giving us this gift at this time? And even though we receive it and use them, we should also know that he may not be the right person for us to bring in the next time. So even we receive these things, but then we should be wise and sensible enough
to tell the person your gift is coming a little too late.
Yes, the timing means that this person is doing this for his or her own, you know, benefit, which is for us to vote for
the
them
numbers back. Sound and look good, 222 toilets, but then another thing is the quality. What, you know, some of these things, you know, after a few months they're down. No one can use them anymore, and everybody goes back to what they know how to do best.
I think the development of that 222 toilets was as a result of the outbreak of cholera in the northern state, just like we discussed a few weeks ago. And I think it's a commendable effort by the Sokoto state government, because I think there was no record of cholera in that state, but it's just a preventive measure. And just like she said, UNICEF described us as, you know, one of these countries where open defecation is mostly practiced. It's not just Nigeria, it's mostly African countries.
But let's focus on ourselves and be ashamed of ourselves that we are like that.
The governor provided those numbers of public toilets. Sometimes you come up with projects based on the circumstances and the needs of the people. So I think it may not even be for political reasons. It may be that, yes, he has identified that, look, if I don't do this, this will come upon my people, and this is what can happen. Yes. So I think we should just accept it just like that.
Okay, so we're accepting it.
Yeah,
let's get ribbons and put around and start.
Yes, that project was actually executed in collaboration with UNICEF. So,
so you see, it's still not entirely our thing.
But UNICEF is supposed to come in cases like this. So it's still kudos to Sokoto state government.
Well, everybody should learn from it at this point. I mean, I'm not trying to undermine, you know, anything anyone has done here, but then we just, I think Nigerians, they need to know that Nigerians know that you are supposed to have done this for us. before now. Okay, even if you're doing it now, it's nothing that would, block this road because, you want to come and commission, because that's the next thing. They will block the road. Now somebody is coming to commission something, and
of course, the funniest thing is that the people don't even know that this is their monies that is being used to provide whatever facility or project for them. They look at it that this governor is doing very well. Well, they can say that because of course a lot of the governors we have seen still keep those monies and don't use them for the projects.
How many people do we have in Sokoto State? How are these toilets? Where are they situated? Are they really put in places at least spread in the state to cater to all of these needs? Not the one that maybe you see everything in one local government.
I think they must have studied, the state, and they must have distributed them to the right places. I think so. For them to build this kind of numbers, they would have done some research and known where the people need them most.
Yes,
I think so.
And for the fact that UNICEF is involved, I think equal distribution of this new development will just be made.
Another thing is we should be appealing to the people to even use the facilities too, because they may be used to what the
you go out to that open field, there is breeze blowing you.
So you'd be surprised that a lot of the residents may not even use the facilities. So I think we should also begin to enlighten. That state governor should also embark on a very serious sensitization.
There should
campaign.
Be a duplication of this in all the 36 states.
And while usage is going on, I think maintenance measures too should be put in place, because when you build toilets, boreholes and all that, over time they wear away and you just have to be maintained. I think that should be looked into as well.
081-8999-1011. It's Media Lab, and you get a chance to make your input on the program this morning. 081-8999-1011. Let's have your call from now to the next few minutes before we make way for the news at noon. It's Media Lab on Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM. Let's see who we have here. Hello? Please turn off your radio. Okay. Turn it off and you can call me back. 081-8999-1011.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning, Keke. It's your friend Samira Yarima.
Good morning, Samira. How are you today?
Fine. It's a beautiful day. You are just making our days in the studio there.
Thank you.
So I just want to make a comment to the governor of Sokoto State. He's making the governor proud. All the governor can take from what he's doing is nice. But what I hope, those boreholes should continue to be working, so that it will be everywhere. It is not something after some years you go down north and you see nothing. So, and the second one is about this killing. The killing is becoming too much. It's getting to our doorstep. Let our forces do something about it. If they can go to other countries like Nigeria, Sudan, and settle their issues there, let them start settling our issues here in Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you, Samira.
Thank you very much.
All right, 081-8999-1011. That's the number to call if you have a contribution to make on the program this morning. Hello? All right, looks like I lost that one there. You can call me right back. We still have a few more minutes to do this, so you can call in and let's get your contribution.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Yeah, my name is Kingsley. I'm calling from Italy.
All right, nice to have you here, Kingsley.
Yeah, thank you. Let me start with the police investigation when they said they cannot commence investigation. The police will not commence the investigation
the interest of the public. You know, so that is that for them. They don't want to commence investigation because the principal have not given them the go ahead to do so. So that is what I have to say concerning the police. Okay. Then for the Boko Haram insurgents, you know, the security challenges in Borno State, you know, Nigeria is a joke. You understand? Some time ago, I remember an independent committee was set up to look into the Boko Haram insurgents, and behold, the former governor was mentioned, you know, to be one of those behind Boko Haram. And what has happened ever since? There are people who are responsible, this insurgent. You understand? So the chief of army staff relocating to Borno is not really solving the problem. It's for you to get the key people that are behind the Boko Haram. And we all know that there are people behind them. So relocating does not change anything. You know? Okay. Because people are just losing our military personnel on daily basis. You know? So that is that for the military relocation. Now, let's look at the Sokoto issue. You know, Nigeria has to be deteriorated to the extent that the government will be announcing boreholes and college. You know, that is a shame. You know, the government should have kept quiet because such amenities are the right of the citizens. It's not a privilege. So you coming out to tell us that you built this, you've done this, that is the right of the citizens. You know, it's a shameful thing that the government will come out and be telling us that they have the built boreholes, the dug boreholes or drill boreholes, whatever way they want to call it. You understand? It's so shameful. Our government should be coming out with such a mini project and telling the whole world that this is what we've done. Come on, they should come and tell us that we are commissioning a railway line from Sokoto to Lagos. Then we know you're doing something. Don't be no boreholes. How can the government of Sokoto come out and tell us that? That's complete nonsense.
Okay, Kingsley, calm down. Just calm down. Thank you. We have to let you go now. Okay. That was intense. Okay.
Nigerians are overwhelmed by the issues that affect us, especially at the state levels. Ruth, you know what we're talking about. The situation, what people face at the state levels is horrible. And when you look at the resources that is available for the use by the governors, and then the life of the average Nigerian at the state level especially, it's a pitiable thing.
Let's quickly listen to this person. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Hello?
Good morning. Yeah.
I'm Joseph calling from Otako.
Okay, Joseph. Joseph, you need to stay away from your radio.
Okay. I want to contribute. On the terrorism Boko Haram issue.
Okay.
Yeah. I remember there is a statement late General Abacha said before he died. He said an insurgency that lasted between 12 to 24 hours is with the knowledge of the government. That was a president, a general. And with comment of General Azazi, late General Azazi, that government are aware of Boko Haram. Just a couple of months ago, General Buhari said, these people are being sponsored by some politicians. So, this thing is so glaring and clear that the government are aware of what is going on. They know what is going on. Because from the time this thing started up to now, if it's beyond Nigerian military, then they should invite international military to help them out of the situation. Why are they toying with the lives of Nigeria? If you can't do it, if it's beyond your power, look for help. For goodness sake. The lives that are going every day, who do they want to live in this country tomorrow if all of us die? If Nigeria exists, at least you can toy with another thing. Lives of human beings like you. God will help us in this country.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And that's it on Media Lab today. Thanks for your participation, and thanks to Oyekeke and Medea.
Thank you.
All right. Media Lab makes a return next week. same time on Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM. In the meantime, the news will be coming up at 12 noon. Don't go anywhere.
As the fourth estate of the realm, the media stands as the watchman of the nation. On Media Lab, we dissect the news items of the day through the men and women that bring the news to you to give you the full story. Media Lab, airing exclusively on Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM, redefining broadcasting.
Human Rights Radio.
Welcome, my dear friends.
Human Rights Radio. Your 100% effort is not good enough. Give me 101.1 effort.
Welcome, my dear friends.
Human Rights Radio. Your 100% effort is not good enough. Give me 101.1 effort.
I pray, Jah, me over my enemies.